Hi everyone, welcome to NFTV Extra on a day where Newcastle give away two stupid penalties which has cost us the game. More on that in a moment. Welcome to NFTV Extra over on the main channel on Newcastle Fans TV. We've got the fan reaction show, we've got Scoring the Players, we've got a Watford fan coming on to talk about the match reaction, and also The Last Word, which is the biggest video we're doing on match day. But yeah, head over at the main channel if you want loads more content. But I'm going to give you my reaction to Newcastle going down 2-1. And I talked about it earlier on in the preview. I talked about it on Tiny Wear News. I said I was fearful that Newcastle had nothing to play for, whereas Watford did. That's what I feared going into the game. In that second half, quite clearly, we fizzled out. We were awful second half, and Watford were much the better side second half, without a shadow of a doubt. So it's disappointing to come away from Vicarage Road with 0 points. The lineup itself, I was much more happy to see Jamal Lascelles back, saint-maximin back, Almiron back. So I don't have too much of an argument. The only thing is Fabian Shea. For me, I'd like to see Matty Longstaff, and he didn't even play today, which was a bit disappointing. So I'm not going to lie, I was disappointed not to see Matty in the future with him in the minute. I mean, that needs to get resolved as soon as possible. Going into the game, of course, we scored after Jamal Lascelles' goal line clearance, which was fantastic, where the cross came in, Danny Welbeck hit the post, and did it deflect off to Bravka heading back into the net? I'm not 100% certain, but Jamal Lascelles was there in the right place. I love the bit where he had to go Danny Rose. He criticised Danny Rose for being a bit slow, not being switched on. So that's what I was talking about earlier on the week with the Manchester City defeat and the Watford preview, is that we miss his leaderships. Whatever you think of him as a defender, we miss his leaderships massively. And it was so close. Watford going in front in Amazon, done a graphic for us, and look at that. They put a graphic over on Twitter, and very close to being a goal for Watford. But we actually scored earlier than that. Apologies, I've got that the wrong way around. So Dwight Gale scored before this. But I'm just really deflated with it. But with the goal with Dwight Gale, which he scored, and it came in, and Dwight Gale was on the end of a corner, and Fernandez heads it on, and there's Dwight Gale, who nets home. And you know, the lad's on form, and Newcastle went 1-0 up. Obviously, with Dwight Gale's chance, the corner come in, flicked on by Fernandez. There's Dwight Gale's got 3 and 5, and yes, I know it's against lower league sides, but Dwight Gale is scoring the goals, and he's probably going to have a shout to start for the rest of the season, possibly. So Newcastle go 1-0 up, and you're thinking, great, we've had one clear off the line, and we're 1-0 up. This is brilliant. And I thought going into half time, we were slightly the better side, not massively, but I thought we edged it first half. But that second half was a totally different side for us. We were poor. Watford were absolutely brilliant for me. The penalty, the first one, where Matt Ritchie, it's just a clash of knees with Femenia. He goes down, and then Troy Deeney steps up and blasts in the middle, and Watford are level. But even then, it was still quite early on. Newcastle still had plenty of time to go on and get the 3 points. But I was saying in the chat that we've got with the rest of the lads in NFTV Extra, I just thought that the second half, they edged it. They deserved that. Deeney was causing more problems. We've seen the Welbeck shot, which was double deflected over. There were signs there that Watford were pressing hard for a goal, because a double win today, because they won last week against Norwich, and a win today would almost push them close to safety. We'll look at the league table in a moment, but the signs were coming, and Mankiw was switched over a left back, and it's pathetic. I think this one's worse than Matt Ritchie's, because Matt Ritchie's was just a clash of knees, whereas Mankiw was worried about the marker going past him. He goes past him, his man, and he just pulls him back, and like, don't do that in the penalty box, because you're asking for a penalty, and that was piss poor by Javier Mankiw. He should know better. And then Troy Deeney again blasts it, and he puts Watford 2-1 up, and you have to say, to be honest with you, second half, they deserved that win. I can't really say that Newcastle, except from a Gale chance just after half time. We had a low shot by Gale as well. But apart from that, yeah, Watford fully deserved to go on and win that game second half. For me, there's no real standouts, people who stood out for me. So it's difficult to say who had a man in the match, but you probably give it maybe to the goal scorer. Saint-Maximin was bright in spells. Miggy was bright in spells. But I thought I had predicted this as a 1-1 draw, and I was close to it being a 1-1 draw, but 2 defeats now. And I did say I was worried about us just fizzling out the season because we've got now to play for. And we've got Spurs on Wednesday night who are desperate to try to get into at least the Europa League. And our season's done. Disappointing not to see Lazaro start. Disappointing not to see Matty Longstaff start. Lazaro needs to start every game for the rest of the season, whether he's shite or not. We'll have to see him have a run of games. And then to say, okay, actually he's worth the 20 million or he's not worth the 20 million. He needs that chance to start for the rest of the season. Why the hell have you got him in? You've seen Joe Linton get ahead of him. You've seen Matt Ritchie get ahead of him. Lazaro needs to play the last 3 games. Even if he's shite, he's got to play it just to see what it look like. Matty's features, I mean, he could be joining Watford for God's sake, but the league table, and this is literally up to date as we speak at the moment. We know there's games later on. The only positive to come out of this is that Aston Villa are now closer to relegation, because I really don't like Aston Villa. You just know that already. But West Ham are thumping 4-0 win. Antonio scoring 4. They're on 34 points. Watford on 34 points. Both of them are now 6 points clear of Bournemouth. The pressure is on Bournemouth and Villa. They're going to have to win 3 out of the last 4 games for me to stay up, because I can still see Watford and West Ham picking up a point or 2 in the last 2 games. So Villa and Bournemouth have got to win 3 out of 4. And I'm not going to lie, in a selfish point of view, Villa to go down because of the laughed at we're. Norwich are down. That saves us that long trip to Carrow Road, because that drive earlier on the season was a nightmare. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind Bournemouth going down, because Watford's a lot easier to get to than West Ham is. But Bournemouth's a bit of a nightmare because you've got to get trains, drive, and even if you drive, it's a long way down. But there you go. Let's quickly see what you have said in the comments as well. Philip says that dismal second half. Totally agree with you, Philip, as well. He's just mentioned that they're on a positive note. At least Villa will be most likely relegated. Right, go over to the main channel where there's a live stream happening. But that's disappointing. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.